beauty babes, welcome to my channel. I'm Maria, aka Agape Love Girl. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today I'm going to be doing a mostly full face of Revlon products. I was sent over quite a few things in PR and I have been testing them out for the previous month of March. And I'm finally sitting down to film and demo the products for you. Now I may or may not share some thoughts and opinions and review on these products here in this video, but I'm going to try not to go into too much depth because I do want to share my full review in my beauty replay for this month, which I'm actually going to be filming today as well. So I don't want to be too repetitive. This video I want more so just to be a demo so you guys can see the products in action, how they perform, and things like that. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. So to start off, I am going to be doing my brows. I was sent over 3 brow products. One of them I didn't try at all just because I thought it was super strange. I don't really understand it, so I won't have any thoughts or review on it, but I just still think it's very, very weird. It's called the Colorstay Brow Light Brow Pencil, and basically it has this thick crayon-like thing, and it has a matte pencil here and a shimmery pencil here, and it's just like this rectangle shape. I don't quite understand it. So you can see matte right here, and you could probably barely see, but there's shimmer here, and I don't really understand how I would use this. I don't know. I never tried it. Maybe I'm missing out. If anybody else has tried it and wants to let me know, I don't know. I never really made time to try it. But it also comes with this little brushy guy. It's a very interesting, one of those Artiste oval brushes, and I don't know if you would just kind of glide this over. But anyways, that's something got very interesting, but never really put it to use. So I apologize. I don't have anything to really say about that, but I just didn't get it. And then I was sent over 2 other ones that seem a little bit more normal. So this is the Revlon Colorstay, just a regular brow pencil. It has the spoolie on one side, and then the brow pencil on the other. This one's a little bit thicker. And then this is the one I'm going to be using today. This is the Colorstay Brow Creator. This is kind of like a 3-in-1. It has a spoolie on one side, which I guess is like a 2-in-1, but I think of 3 when it has a spoolie. It has a more precise skinny brow pencil on this side, and then you open it up and there is a brow powder. Now the thing about this pencil is that this little skinny brow pencil part is very, very waxy. It does give a little bit of color, but it's almost like a brow wax. And at first I thought, okay, maybe that makes sense. Use this as a brow wax and then you can use the powder and that gets it to stay, I guess. But I didn't really love it. I will say I don't really like this brow pencil. So I did give this one a shot, the thicker one. I thought maybe because this is just the brow pencil, it'll be a little bit different consistency. It'll be a little bit more like a brow pencil, not so waxy. But this one is the same consistency. It's still very waxy, so that's why I'm not going to be using this one, because it's essentially the same thing. It's just a little bit of a thicker brow pencil. But I'm going to use this so I could also use the powder to show you guys how that works. So I'm going to go ahead and fill in my brows with the pencil. You'll see the little bit of color that it does give and how waxy it is. I'm just going to kind of shape out my brows with this and you know, do the typical thing I would do with a brow pencil. And then I'm going to go ahead and go into the powder. And I think this powder is nice. It gives good pigmentation. I feel like it really clings to the waxy pencil. But the thing is, it's like this sponge applicator, so it's quite messy and does require some cleanup. I think you could probably be more precise, but it's very hard with this thick sponge. I'm going to do my best, and then what I'm going to do is just go ahead and probably spoolie some of this out and then clean it up with a concealer after I'm done. Alright, so here you can see the difference in my brows with the product and without. It's definitely going to give you a very bold brow, nothing natural if that's what you're looking for. As you can see, these look very blocky. I'm sure I could have made them a little less blocky, but it's, like I said, it's very hard to control that sponge of powder. So this is kind of what I end up with every time I've used it. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and just speed through the second eyebrow now. These are some bold brows. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do my eyes for a different video, an IGTV video, just because I don't have any Revlon eyeshadows to use and I want to keep this video short and sweet, or as short and sweet as I can. So I will be right back with my eyes done and then we'll move on to the face. Alright, I'm back with my eyes done, and if you're curious, I did use the Lotte London, the Jewels little mini palette, a really great little palette. And I don't know if I already said previously, but I filmed that for an IGTV video, so if you want to see this look, it's very simple, but if you want to see it in action, see that palette in action, that will be on my IGTV, so stay tuned for that. But with that being said, we're going to go ahead and move on to the face. I do have several face products to use today, including primers, so we're going to go ahead and start with that. Now I was sent, I think 3 or 4 different primers, but I only pulled out 2 to use, 2 that I thought might be the most interesting. I'm going to go ahead and put one of them on right now, and then I'll talk to you about them because I want to have time for it to set and sink in before I move on with the foundation. So I'm going to be using the Photo Ready Prime Plus Brightening and Skin Tone Evening. I never know how to say that right. And I'm going to be using a dual fiber brush to apply that. Now what I'm going to do is go ahead and apply this just to half of my face. I kind of want to do a little side-by-side situation to see if we can see the difference. I'm not sure if you guys can really tell on camera or not, but this primer does add a little bit of a luminosity to the skin, a little bit of a glowy look to the skin, a little bit of a brightening effect to the skin. And I actually do like this primer okay. I wouldn't call it a favorite. It's not something I see myself totally reaching for all the time. I do find that it's a little bit finicky, specifically with the Revlon foundations. Oddly enough, you'd think that the same brand foundation would work well with the primers, but I don't know, I just found they didn't work as well. But I had no problems using this primer with other foundations in my collection that I know and enjoy. But anyways, the other primer that I got is the Photo Ready Prime Plus Perfecting and Smoothing. Now the Perfecting and Smoothing one is one that I thought I'd like a little bit more because it has hyaluronic acid in it, vitamin B5, and it seems like one that was supposed to be a little bit more hydrating, and so I do have drier skin. I thought I would like it more, but I had more issues with this primer. It's a little bit more of a thicker primer, and I felt like it was even worse when I used it with the Revlon primer than the one I'm using today. So anyways, with that being said, let's go ahead and move into the foundations that I was sent. Now I was sent 2 foundations as well. I was sent their Photo Ready Candid Natural Finish foundation, as well as the Photo Ready Candid Glow Moisture Glow Foundation. And I'm going to be using the regular one today. I did test out both of them, but I will say that I like the natural finish a little bit better. The glow one is just very sheer. It does provide a really glowy finish, but it just stays a little bit too dewy for my preference. So anyways, we're going to be using the natural finish one today. So I got the shade 300, which is Dune. I'm going to go ahead and be applying this with a sponge, and I'm going to start on the side without primer first, just so it doesn't kind of interfere with the side that has a primer on it. I'm going to do 2 pumps to start out with, but I know I'm going to be needing more than that because this is a little bit more of a thinner coverage foundation. It says it's medium buildable. I find that it's more so light coverage, and it is buildable to medium. I don't think you really can get this to full coverage, but I think it performs much better with a sponge. Whenever I used it with the brush, I found that it got all sticky and weird, and I just did not like it. So typically you could get better coverage with a brush, but since this foundation just didn't work well with the brush, I gotta stick with the sponge and stick with the lighter coverage. Moving on to the side with the primer, I am going to go ahead and need 1 more pump for this side of my face. And I will say that I do think that using this primer does give this foundation a little bit more coverage. I think overall the coverage looks pretty even on both sides of my face, but the side with the primer does offer a little bit more coverage. Next up, I don't have a Revlon concealer or powder to use, so I am just going to really quickly speed through applying my concealer. I'm going to be using the e.l.f. HD Under Eye Concealer in the shade Fair, and then I'm just going to lightly set my face with the Urban Decay Stay Naked The Fix powder. This is actually a powder foundation, but I'm going to try to use it very, very lightly, so I'm not, changing the coverage or anything like that. I just want to lightly set my face. Moving on, I'm going to go ahead and bronze up my face with the Revlon Skin Lights Prismatic Bronzer. I have the shade 110 Sunlit Glow. At first I thought this was going to be way too light for me. It is a very light looking bronzer, as well it has this kind of pearlescent effect to it, so I thought maybe it might be too shimmery, but I actually ended up really loving this bronzer. I think the shade is a really great match for me. It looks very natural on the skin. The shimmer in it isn't too shimmery, so it doesn't look like I'm have sparkle or glitter all over my face. It actually gives a very nice, in my opinion, natural looking glow to the skin, and I just thought it was really beautiful and have really loved using this bronzer. Hopefully you guys will be able to see just how beautiful this bronzer is and how it gives this kind of natural, youthful glow without looking too highlightery or too glittery or anything like that. It doesn't look like it's too shiny or anything. It just gives this natural radiance to the skin. I just think it looks so pretty. Alright, next up, I don't have a blush from Revlon, so I'm just going to go ahead and use my Pure Cosmetics Blushing Act in the shade Pretty in Peach. To set, I'm going to go ahead and use my Pixi Skin Treats Rose Glow Mist. And to finish off the face, I'm going to be using the Revlon Skin Lights Prismatic Highlighter in the shade 202 Twilight Gleam. This is a stunning highlighter. I've really been enjoying this as well. Alright, and that does wrap it up for the face products. I do have some Revlon lipsticks to try, and I will swatch a few for you guys. But I'm going to go ahead and finish up my eyes with some lashes off camera or for a separate video, my IGTV video that I mentioned earlier, and then I will be right back to swatch some lipsticks. Alright, I am back with the lashes on and the look complete, and we're going to go ahead and move into some lipsticks. Now, I'm actually really glad that I waited to film this video because literally just last night on my doorstep I got another package of some new lipsticks from Revlon. So initially they sent me this adorable package, and this has their matte lipsticks. Let me see the proper name for it. So these are their super lustrous lipsticks, but they're the matte version. So I do have some information here. There's actually quite a bit of shades here. I think they only sent me like, I don't know, 10 or so, but I'm only going to swatch I think 2 of these matte ones because I have tried one of them once and I thought it was okay, but I didn't really love the formula, just personal preference, and also I'm not super big into lipsticks anyways, so I feel like they would go to waste just for me to swatch them. I'd rather pass them along brand new to somebody else or gift them or throw them in a giveaway that I already have kind of going on right now. So but I do want to swatch them to at least 1 or 2 to show you. But I got sent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then last night I got sent another package like this. Look how cute these little bags are. So cute. I love that they're sending it their products in these reusable cute bags. And there's 2 in here because these are the shades that I won't use at all. They're bright pinky shades, but I pulled out a lot more of these because I feel like if I like these, I may swatch a little bit more of these. These seem like they may be something I like. So these are the other colors that I was sent. So I was sent 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of these shades, and these are their Lustrous Shine. So Revlon Super Lustrous Glass Shine lipsticks, and there's quite a bit of shades in the range here as well. And I actually really appreciate that they didn't send me all of them, especially because I'm not super big into lipsticks. But this one says, steal the show with brilliant shine and color that instantly melts onto the lips whenever you swipe it. This decadent formula has an irresistible, buttery feel that wraps lips in luscious, vibrant color that doesn't feather or bleed. Get the cushiony moisture of a lip balm and the dimensional shine of a lip gloss in one product. And because I'm such a lip balm and lip gloss girl, I just love glosses and balms so much, I kind of think I might like these, and I can imagine myself using them. I haven't tried these ones yet, so I'm excited to give them a try, but the matte ones are just kind of like your typical matte lipsticks. They do feel a little bit different. They actually, and I pulled it over here, these ones actually remind me a lot of the MAC Powder Kiss lipsticks. If you guys are familiar with that, I do have two that I received from a friend. They look like this, and they kind of have this velvet, you probably can't tell from this far away, but they kind of have this velvet look to them, and they're called the Powder Kiss lipsticks. They are matte, but they're very creamy and feel moisturizing on the lips. So they don't feel drying on the lips, they feel creamy, they feel moisturizing, but they do look matte and have, like, you know, it's that powder kiss, so it's like, looks like a matte finish, but a creamy matte, comfortable matte. And the ones from Revlon actually really remind me of that. But the thing is, as creamy and nice as it felt on the lips, I felt like it just didn't look that great on the lips. And it's probably because I do have dry lips. My lips tend to be quite crusty. Well, I don't want to say crusty, they're not crusty, but they do get very dry and sometimes flaky a lot of the times, which is why I like glosses and why I like balms. Because I don't think that matte, especially like a powdery matte like this, looks too great on my lips. So I did wear one of them and test it out for one day, but I didn't wear it more than that. And again, just repeating myself, that's probably why I won't test out more of the matte ones, but I do want to show them to you so you can see them in action. My lips are a little bit more hydrated. I have been going back to using a nightly lip mask to get my lips better prepped. So anyways, the matte ones, I'm going to try, this is the one I already opened. It's a nude shade. I knew I would probably like it, and that's why I chose to open it first. But it's the shade number 11, Untold Stories, and it looks like this. It's a nice nude shade, really pretty shade. Go ahead and zoom in here so you can see my lips a little bit better. And I wiped off that, I did have a gloss on previously while I was filming just to keep my lips hydrated and things like that. So anyways, I'm going to go into the shade Untold Stories. And so hopefully you guys can see that it has kind of the look of a matte shade, but it is very, very creamy. It feels comfortable on the lips, but honestly, when I look at it up close, I just don't think it looks that flattering on my lips. And again, like I said, I don't know if that's just because I have drier lips, and even now my lips aren't super dry, but I still feel like this kind of just looks dry on my lips. It just looks, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of this type of lipstick. But again, it really does remind me of those MAC Powder Kiss lipsticks. So if you like those types of lipsticks and you were looking for maybe an affordable dupe, the Revlon matte lipsticks might be something to look into. Really quickly, I just want to show you the MAC one compared to the Revlon one up close. Packaging wise, they both have that kind of like soft velvety kind of packaging, and then they both have that kind of velvety look as well. I feel like maybe the Revlon one looks a little bit more creamy, a little bit more shiny, whereas the MAC one looks a little bit more powdery. But when swatched out, I'm going to show you right here, they look the same. They kind of have that same texture, same look, just that creamy matte, powdery matte look to them. They're very, very similar. I would honestly feel confident calling these a dupe. So the swatch you're seeing on top is the Revlon shade Untold Stories, and then the MAC shade that I swatched is this shade Sexy But Sweet. Next up, I am going to go ahead and swatch one more from the matte collection just because I think this is such a pretty shade. So this is the shade 24 Fire and Ice. Ooh, this is a really beautiful color. Obviously does not go with my look today, but this is a really stunning shade. I'm really glad actually that I did end up swatching another shade, because this one I feel like looks a little bit better than that other nude shade. Normally I'm really big into nude lipsticks. I prefer them, but in this formula, that nude shade I didn't think looked as flattering on my lips, but this kind of brighter, deeper shade I think looks a little bit more flattering in this formula. Still is a little bit, I don't know how to describe it, like what it's making my lips look like, but it kind of like you can see some of the product settling into my fine lines. It looks pigmented but also sheer at the same time. It's a very interesting formula. Again, like I said, not my favorite, but I do think that this brighter shade Fire and Ice is a lot prettier and a little bit more flattering than that nude shade. So I'm glad I gave it a shot. Also, I do want to mention that the day that I did test out the that nude shade, I did wear it for quite a long time. I felt like it was really long lasting. It was very, very comfortable. I did take it off before eating, but I did drink with it, and it does transfer, of course, but I felt like it didn't transfer so much to where like it wore away quickly. I felt like it wore really nicely, so I think that's an upside to the matte lipsticks. They wear really nicely, they feel very comfortably, but personally I just don't think it's very flattering on my lips. Alright, next up we're going to go into the Shine lipsticks, and I have 5 that I'm planning to try if I like them, fingers crossed. The first one I'm going to go into is the shade 001 Sparkling Quartz. So I think it's just going to be like a shimmery balm type. we'll see. Okay, yes, I like this a lot. I love that it feels so creamy. It looks really, really glossy. It smells really good too. The other lipsticks I didn't notice have a smell, but this has a little bit of a sweet smell. I can't quite pinpoint what it is, but it smells really light and delightful, and it's very, very creamy. I thought this would have a little bit more sparkle to it. I'm not really seeing any sparkle at all, but it's just like a very glossy balm. I am loving this so far. It's definitely a clear gloss, but you may be seeing a little bit of color or pigmentation on my lips, and that's probably just the leftover residue from the last lipstick I just put on because it was so bright and vibrant, and I tried my best to get it all off, but there was still a little bit of residue I missed. Okay, one obnoxious thing I want to show is that like these ones are not as easy to open, so I have this sticker that's I've got to pull off, whereas the other ones, I feel like the packaging is a little bit more sleek. You've got the sticker right here, but I can open it up without having to take a sticker off, which sticker doesn't really bother me, but now I'm gonna have this like sticker residue on here, so that's kind of obnoxious. But anyways, the next one I want to go into is the shade 003 Glossed Up Rose. It looks like a really beautiful shade. Ooh, really, really pretty. I definitely love these type of rosy nudes as well. Okay, I feel like, I know it's super early to say, but these lipsticks I feel like are gonna be a win already. I love the way they feel. I love the way they smell. I love the little hint of color. It's intense, but not too intense. Like, it's perfect. It really is like a gloss lipstick, a gloss in a lipstick form. That's so, so cool. I love it. And this is a really beautiful shade. Oh, I could see myself wearing this like on the daily. I do apologize if these swatches look a little bit messy. Whenever I do lip swatches, my lips always end up looking a little bit of a mess. When you're removing lipstick and reapplying and removing, it gets a little bit messy. All right, next up I'm gonna try the shade Fire and Ice, which is the same shade as that last matte shade I tried. So it's kind of cool that they have the same shades in the different formulas. Okay, definitely in this Shine formula, the color isn't as pigmented as it was in the matte formula. But it's still a gorgeous color, still the same shade. This kind of reminds me of a little bit of a popsicle looking lip color. It's glossy, it's like a light wash of beautiful, vibrant color. It just reminds me of like a popsicle lip, but really, really pretty. I like the shade a lot. Next up, I'm going to try the shade 14 Glaring Coral. It looks really red here, but it just sounded like a really interesting shade name. And then when I opened it up, it looks like it might be a little bit more of a orangey red, but we shall see how it looks on the lips. Ooh, I like that. It's a nice subtle color, a lot more sheer than the rest. A really pretty like peachy corally nude, pinky peachy nude. I like it a lot. Ooh. These lipsticks are making me really, really happy. All right, lastly, I'm going to be trying the shade 008 Rum Raisin, and hopefully it'll be kind of like a nice nudie, it looks like a nudie brown shade that'll go well with this lip because I'm gonna keep it on to wrap up this video. So it looks like this. Normally I'm not super big into kind of like brownish leaning shades, but if this is a little bit more sheer and neutral, I think it'll be a nice lipstick to wear on the daily. Yeah, ooh. I like this a lot. That's beautiful. Oh, I just love how glossy these are. Yeah, it looks really nice with this look too, I think. And I really like these lipsticks so much, I'm tempted to swatch the last two I have, but I just kind of know myself that these are kind of really bright pink shades that I don't think I will wear. Even if they are a little bit glossy and sheer, I don't tend to wear vibrant pink shades like this, especially cool tone pinks that often. So these will be something that I pass along or put in a giveaway, but I love the formula of these Shine lipsticks from Revlon, and actually I'm really, really excited and happy to end this video on a positive note. I kind of had a feeling previously that it would have ended on a little bit of a slightly negative note with the matte lipsticks that I had tried previously. So I'm really glad that I got that package in last night and could add it to this video and end it on a good note. I will say that I feel like this video was a little bit all over the spectrum. In the beginning, I feel like we had some not so great products with the brow products. Not a fan of them, didn't really like them. The primers are a little bit of a fail for me, not something I want to reach for very much. The foundations are just okay as well, in my opinion. Even looking at my skin up close right now, I think from afar in the viewfinder, I think it looks really nice, but up close, I don't love the way it looks. The coverage isn't great. And even on the side with the primer, even though the foundation offered a little bit more coverage, as far as like staying power or anti-creasing or anything like that, like I still am getting the same amount of creasing right here in my smile lines that I am on this side without the foundation or without the primer, and I feel like relatively both sides look the same in the end. So I don't know, I wasn't super big impressed with the foundations, but I feel like we kind of moved into some better products with the bronzer that I was really pleasantly surprised by and really happy by. Really love that bronzer, and the highlight I think is gorgeous as well. Then the lipsticks, I thought it was good. We were going to end on a little bit of a not fail, but you know, not great product there, but these glossy shine lipsticks really saved the end of this video because I am so impressed. Of course, this is the lipsticks is very first impressions, but I'm wowed right off the bat. But anyways, that is it for this video. I was gonna say testing out Revlon products, but I've been testing them out for the previous month, but at least demoing a lot of Revlon products. I really hope you guys enjoyed seeing them in action and hearing some of my thoughts on them after having tested them out for the past month. I would love to know your thoughts and opinions on these products. If there are any of these products that you've tried and you love that I didn't like, maybe you use them differently or whatever the case may be. I feel like I heard a lot of people, every review I saw of the Revlon Candid foundations, both the regular and the glow, have been really great reviews, and I just feel like is something wrong with me because I just am not loving these foundations, but everybody else seems to love them. So I don't know, it's all about personal preference, but if you guys have any tips on how to apply them or anything like that, I'd love to hear from you, your thoughts and opinions on these products as well. It's always fun to hear your experience with products, whether you agree with me or disagree. I always enjoy hearing from you. But anyways, with all that being said, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, much love and hugs to you. Bye, beauty babes. Mwah!